Hello students, in this video I'm going to talk about the concept of hybridization and how easily you can calculate the hybridization of a molecule by just looking at it. So now what is hybridization? First of all, hybridization is only for the covalent molecule. What is hybridization? It is overlapping of orbitals to eventually form new hybrid orbital. So now it is only for the covalent molecule, only molecules that form covalent bonds, and you have to remember that it is only for the central atom. These are the few things that you have to keep in mind while you will be attempting the questions for hybridization. Now, what two things that you will need to keep in mind, I will share a trick with you. The trick says that you have to count the sigma bonds in the molecule plus the lone pair on central atom. And please note that you do not count the pi bonds. The pi bonds are not to be included here. And if you want to know what are sigma and pi bonds actually and how to calculate the number of sigma and pi bonds, you can refer to my other video. I'll post the link here only. Now, as we all know, till class 9th and 10th, we have studied that the covalent bonds are only formed by sharing of electrons. But in class 11th and 12th, we'll be talking about overlapping of orbitals is necessary when you're talking about covalent bond. There is nothing like sharing of electrons until and unless the overlapping of the orbitals has occurred. So in similar way, we know that if the bond is being formed, the bond is being formed only with the help of valence shells. Valence shells electrons. We are only talking about valence electrons here because all the electrons in a particular atom are not going to participate in bonding except the valence electrons. So now if I talk about how to calculate, I'll share that easy way of remembering few of the hybridization, the shapes that it will form, and the bond angle. Now, when you will be counting the sigma bonds and the lone pair on the central atom, let's say the sum of both of them comes out to be 2. So if the sum is 2, the number of orbitals that would be involved in hybridization will be one from the s and other from the p. So it is going to be sp. Just for your remembrance, s is like this with one orbital, p subshell has 3 orbitals, and when you talk about d, it has 5 orbitals. So if you need 2 orbitals for overlapping, one is from s, the next would be from the next p. So it is going to be sp, and the shape of such molecule would be linear, and we say that the bond angle is 180 degree. Similarly, if the number comes out to be 3, we know we will have one s and the 2 p orbitals, and the hybridization would be called as sp2, and the shape would be called as trigonal planar, and the bond angle between them would be 120 degrees. Similarly, if you get as 4, it would be 1s and all the 3 orbitals of p would be participating, and it will be called as sp3. The shape of the molecule will be tetrahedral, and the angle between them is 109.5 degrees. Similarly, if it is 5, we call it as s. Now, till 4, all the orbitals of the p subshell was done. So if you need one more, it would be coming from the next available, which is d. So it is going to be sp3d. The shape is called as trigonal bipyramidal, and the angles here are 2. One is 90 degree and the other is 120 degree. 90 degrees for the axial bonds and 120 degree for the equatorial bonds. For 6, it is going to be s plus all the 3 from p and 2 from d. So this would be sp3d2, and the shape is called as octahedral, and the angles are 90 degree. And for 7, it is going to be sp3d3. I'm not writing it in the way above because now I think you have understood, and the shape is called as pentagonal bipyramidal, and again the angles are 72 degree for the equatorial and 90 degree for the axial. Now let's take few examples so that we can get more clarity on the concept. I will take first the example for beryllium chloride. Right? Now we know that when I'm talking about beryllium, the compound is like this. I'm not saying that it is linear right now. I'm just saying that beryllium is going to be the central atom. How do we calculate the central atom? The one which is lesser in the number is the central. I have 1 beryllium and 2 chlorine, so beryllium is lesser in number, beryllium would be the central atom. So now I am saying that this would be like beryllium would be in the center and it would be attached to 2 chlorine atoms. Now how many sigma bonds would be there? There are going to be 2 sigma bonds. And what is the valency of beryllium? Beryllium is atomic number 4. So it is 1s2, 2s2, or I can say it is 2, 2. Right? So it has 2 valence electrons and it has 2 bonds only. So there are no lone pair. So the number comes out to be 2. And if it is 2, I told you the hybridization is going to be sp, which is going to be linear, and the bond angle is going to be 180 degree. Similarly, if I take another example of, let's say, BCl3, right? Again, I am assuming that boron would be like this in the center and there would be 3 chlorine atoms. The boron belongs to group 13, so the configuration is 283, and we know there are 3 valence electrons in boron, and we know all the 3 are involved in the forming a bond with chlorine. So how many sigma bonds are there? There are 3 sigma bonds and there is 0 lone pair. So again the number comes out to be 3, and if it is 3, I will say it is sp2. It is going to be trigonal planar with the bond angle of 120 degree, right? Similarly, if I say, let's take example of CH4. CH4, again we know carbon has valency of 4, so it is going to be 2, 4. So carbon would be like this, as it is a central atom. So there are 4 valence electrons and all of them are busy in the bonding, so there is not going to be any lone pair. So 4 sigma bonds plus 0 lone pair, it comes out to be 4. 4 means sp3. sp3 means it is tetrahedral and the angle would be 109.5 degree. I hope what I have explained is very clear now. Similarly, let's take example of few more compounds. Let's talk about ammonia. Now nitrogen belongs to group 14, so the configuration is 2,5. So nitrogen would somehow look like this, right? So now nitrogen has 5 valence electrons and only 3 are involved in bonding. So that means 2 electrons are still left vacant, and 2 electrons means if I form a pair, it is a 1 lone pair. 2 electrons are counted as 1 pair. So now if I have to calculate how many sigma bonds, it has 3 sigma bonds plus 1 lone pair. So the number is 4. It turns out to be sp3. It is tetrahedral and it is 109.5 degree. Similarly, let's talk about few more examples. Now let's take a charged entity, right? You should also know how to calculate the hybridization of a charged entity. So I will give you a note for this. Whenever you have a charged entity, adjust the charges on central atom. Now what do you mean by adjust the charge? If it is positive like this, remove that many number of electrons from the central atom. If it is negative, add that many numbers to the central atom. Why I am saying this? I do not want you to go on till the sigma bond formation. Directly adjust the charges here. For example, nitrogen was 2, 5, and we know, so 2, 5, how many valence electrons are there in nitrogen? It has 5 valence electrons, plus 1 means there is 1 less. So what will I do is I will subtract it here and I will say that the valence electrons for nitrogen is 4. Now it has 4 valence electrons and 4 hydrogen. That means there is no lone pair here. So if it is 4 sigma plus 0 lone pair, it turns out to be 4, which is sp3, which is tetrahedral and again 109.5 degrees, right? Now let's take few more examples. Let's talk about water. Now again, oxygen is lesser in number, so oxygen is my central atom. So if I'm talking about oxygen, we know it is 2, 6, so the valence electron in oxygen are 6. But if you talk about the bonds that it is only forming 2 bonds. So how many electrons are remaining? Remaining electrons are 4. 4 means it is 2 lone pair. Remember this. So how many are involved in bonding? So there are only 2 sigma bonds plus 2 lone pairs. So the total number is 4. Again it is sp3 and it is tetrahedral and it is 109.5 degree. You have to keep in mind that I'm constantly saying shape of the molecule and not the geometry. Geometry is different. I'm only talking about the shape of the molecule. Similarly, if I talk about SF4, now sulfur is your central atom and sulfur has valency of 6. And I know the sulfur is forming 4 bonds with 4 fluorine. So how many lone pair would be there? Out of 6, 2 are remaining, so 1 lone pair. So it turns out to be 4 sigma bonds plus 1 lone pair. It is 5 and it is sp3d. Right? Now, if I talk about, let's say, PF5. Now what will happen for PF5? I know the valence electrons are 5. And all the 5 are involved in the bonding because there are 5 fluorines present here. So the total would be 5 sigma plus 0 lone pair. 5 sigma means it is sp3d. The next example would be PCl4. Now I know P is 285. The valence electrons are 5. And here it is a charged entity. So I told you to adjust the charge on the central atom only. So if I subtract it here, it would be 4. If it is 4, I have 4 chlorine. So I would be having no lone pair. So if it is no lone pair and 4 sigma, so it is turns out to be sp3, which is tetrahedral. Similarly, if I have, let's say, CO2. Now we know that oxygen forms a double bond. So if I'm talking, I told you not to include the pi bond here. So if I'm not including the pi bonds, how many sigma bonds are here? There are 2 sigma bonds and there is no lone pair. Carbon had 4 valency, 1, 2, 3, 4, all are fulfilled. So in this case, it is going to be 2, which is sp, which is linear, and the bond angle would be 180 degrees. Now let's take last example for this video. This is a carbanion. Now if I talk about this, carbon has a valency of 4 and I know that there is -1, that means +1. So it turns out to be 5. Now if there are 5 valence electrons in carbon, how many are busy in the bonding? Only 3. So how many are remaining? Remaining are 2 electrons. That means 1 lone pair. So if I will say, I will write it as, how many sigma bonds are there? There are 3 sigma bonds. How many lone pair is there? 1 lone pair. It turns out to be 4. 4 means it is again sp3. I hope you will use this trick and you will be able to calculate the hybridization for any molecule now.